So what if, because I'm sure you've seen this before, I know I've seen this in my office, that addicted partner does show up and he's there, but he's not super willing. He is being more resistant. Maybe he's questioning, am I really an addict? I don't know that I'm an addict. Or maybe he's even, blaming his wife or
Oh,
the
yeah.
betrayed partner. What about in those situations? Where it's not just so nice and neat and tidy, which it does happen that way some. I mean, it does.
Yeah, you have the extremes, right? You have the ones where they're like, I just want to keep her. I'll do anything. Yes,
Right.
yes. I'm an addict. I'll do it. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I typically, the ones that I see that are what you were describing are usually the ones that do really, really well in recovery eventually. And those are the ones that are kind of like, they surprise me sometimes, because once that light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, I am an addict. This recovery stuff is great. I'm feeling so much better. I don't want to go back to that. Then they are the ones that typically, we have the roller coaster ride that we go on. She's up here for a while, he's down here, and then they go like this. They're hardly ever this way, but they're kind of going back and forth. Sometimes I'll see him go, woo, I'm doing great. And she's like, wait a minute, wait for me. Hold on a second. They're challenging at first, but sometimes the challenging ones are the ones that surprise me the most. So anyway, having said that, yes, if they are coming in and they're like, yeah, addict, I am not the A word. I am not an SA. No way. I don't want that label. Forget it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be the one to diagnose you with that. However, you have to admit there's a problem. If it's hurting other people around you, at least admit it's a problem. And if you want your wife to feel safe and she doesn't, we'll just speak about porn addiction. If she doesn't want you to look at porn, she doesn't like it, she feels uncomfortable, she feels objectified and doesn't feel like you have only eyes for her, and she's feeling all of that, and you don't want her to feel that way, I'm sure, then let's look at this. Let's see if you can stop. That's great, but it would be a lot easier to stop if you had some help. So she is asking, and I am asking, in order for us to stay on the same page here in recovery, that you make an appointment with a certified sex addiction therapist. Find a CSAT. I've got some referrals. I can refer you here locally. I've got some all over the country that I can refer you to that I've worked with personally, or you can find one on your own. But you need to find a therapist that can help you with this. And let's just see what that therapist says about whether or not this is an addiction or not. And of course, the therapist is going to say, yep, it's an addiction. And let's get to work. From that point on, at least in the beginning, I put a lot of emphasis on the partner. Sometimes it just takes that little side door, not the back door action, but the side door coming in the side. She's hurting over here. Don't you want to make her feel better? You're the one that's hurting her. You want her to feel better. So let's look at this. And then once I get them with the CSAT, that CSAT can turn it around and really make him feel like he's being heard and really being listened to, and figuring out, okay, well, maybe I do have a problem. And then it's in the CSAT's hands to work with him on that problem. So they might fight me a little bit, but then when I bring the partner in and how much her pain is so significant and she can't take it much longer. And I'll also flat out say, I'm going to be working with your wife. We're going to be working together every week. Her voice is going to get stronger. She's going to be empowered. Her sense of self is coming back. And she's going to get to a point where what you're doing, which is nothing, isn't going to be enough for her.